Hi, I'm Doug Bodock, and welcome to Classical Guitar 3. In this lesson, we'll explore some of the finer elements of classical guitar, along with learning some great pieces. If you went through the first two classical guitar lessons, you saw how we introduced open bass notes that would sustain over a melody. Well, now it's time to add fretted bass notes. These will be more difficult as we'll need to keep our finger down in order to allow the bass note to sustain. Try it here in a short exercise. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you keep the bass notes ringing as long as you can over the melody notes. Bach's Minuet in G makes great use of sustained bass notes. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you'll encounter a piece that requires you to fret more than one string with one finger. This is referred to as a bar and requires that you lay your finger down flat on the fretboard to cover the appropriate number of strings. A bar can be anywhere from just 2 strings to all 6. Try it here on the 5th fret with just 2 strings. Now let's try barring some more strings. And try 4, 5, finally all 6. The key elements to achieving a good bar are keeping your fingers straight and using the weight of your left arm for pressure. It helps to roll the finger a bit to the thumb side, as the finger has less of a tendency to bend there. As far as pressure, you don't need to have a death grip between the thumb and fingers. Think of pulling the guitar into you using your shoulder and the weight of your arm. In the music, a bar will be indicated with this symbol, where the Roman numeral indicates the fret at which we bar. Now let's try a piece using our bar technique. 1, 2, 3. Arpeggios are simply the note of a chord played separately. In classical guitar, it becomes a challenge for the right hand, as we'll need to use different fingers for each string. Pay close attention to the right hand fingering in this next example. 1, 2, 3. Notice how I kept my left-hand fingers down so all the notes could ring together. There are a ton of great right-hand arpeggio studies for the classical guitar, so I would encourage you to do more work with arpeggios, as this will pay great dividends with your right-hand development. One technique that can really add some flair to your playing is vibrato. Vibrato added to sustained notes gives it a real singing quality. Here's a note without vibrato. And here's a note with vibrato. So now that you can hear the difference, let's talk about the technique. In standard guitar, vibrato generally involves more extreme shaking of the note, bending it up and down repeatedly. Whereas in classical guitar, vibrato tends to be more subtle. It's achieved with a lateral or sideways movement, producing a subtle variation in pitch. Here it is again. Vibrato isn't something you want to add to every note, but it's a nice effect when you have a note that holds for a bit. Try it here on the C major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. For our final piece, the popular Romance in E minor, we'll combine all the techniques we studied in this lesson: fretted bass notes, arpeggios, bars, and vibrato. 1, 2, 3. Well, I hope you enjoyed our lesson on classical guitar. Keep practicing, and I hope to see you again soon.